Alright, Sam, come on. Time to do the review. Wait, who are you? Hey guys, this is Justin at the Survival Review, and I'd like to introduce Kaytee to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about Jurassic World, which is a movie that I haven't really been anticipating as much, but I've been interested to see it. And now that I have, I'm glad I did, because it was awesome.
My expectations were really low, but I actually really liked it.
It's the best Jurassic Park sequel, which isn't saying much.
That's not that hard to do.
No. It's the most true to the first film. Because I mentioned in my other reviews that both sequels they lack certain elements from the first one. And this one seemed to have all those elements. Though it didn't do it perfectly. This movie's not a perfect movie. But it's a fun as hell movie.
Yeah, extremely funny. Chris Pratt is amazing.
Yes. So the plot of the film, Jurassic Park has been opened. It's fully operational. And my problem is that people don't seem to be interested in the dinosaurs anymore. So they want to create a new hybrid dinosaur to get more people in. And they do, and that dinosaur breaks out, and all hell breaks loose, and Chris Pratt has to stop it. That's the general gist of the plot.
Yeah.
Now, what works in this movie, the characters aren't the most interesting characters, but they're all well acted.
And a lot of fun.
Yes. Like she mentioned earlier, Chris Pratt is awesome in the movie.
Yes.
Luckily, he's not. I was worried he was going to be just playing Star-Lord again, but he's not.
No, he's actually more serious this time.
That's not saying he's not funny at all. He's still really funny in the movie, but he's not full-on Star-Lord, which is good. And the rest of the cast is good. I was so excited that Vincent D'Onofrio was in the movie because he's such an awesome actor. His character sucked.
Yeah, it did.
He was the most cliched bad guy you could find, and his the whole thing about him wanting to turn the raptors into to use them for the military.
I just don't know where they got that idea from.
Stupid idea.
Yeah.
But before we move on to the negative, just a couple more positives. The action in this movie is all great.
Yes, it is.
And once the mayhem starts, the movie never lets up.
No.
It just keeps moving.
There's a lot of surprises that I loved.
Yeah, there's a lot of great twists and reveals near the end. They're just like, what? It's so awesome.
Yeah.
I like the stuff at the beginning in the park when it's just the people walking around looking at the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Because that brought back the wonder of the first film.
Yeah.
Because it was fun to see dinosaurs again. Because all the sequels did was just have dinosaurs chasing people and it was boring. But this brought back the wonder of just, they're dinosaurs that come to life.
They're amazing and you can ride on them.
Yeah. There's a lot of great stuff like that in the movie. Would people really get tired of dinosaurs?
I don't think people would. You would go and think, wow, these were extinct and now they're back. This is awesome. Especially
if there's only one island with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It's not like this is like a zoo that you can go anywhere and see. It's one island full of dinosaurs. It's probably really expensive to go there. And so I don't get why people really lose interest in dinosaurs.
Right.
So the hybrid dinosaur, which is what I thought was one of the stupidest ideas to come up with, worked out because that dinosaur was awesome.
That was an awesome dinosaur.
He was scary. Every time he was on screen, you're like, oh, shit's gonna go down.
Every time he did something new, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, the movie took a lot of the elements that I thought was stupid in the trailers and made them actually work in the movie.
Yeah.
Again, the hybrid dinosaur, which I thought was really a stupid idea, but turned out to be awesome. And even the scene at the end of the trailer that I laughed out loud at, Chris Pratt on a motorcycle riding with raptors, it works in the movie.
Yeah, they made it work really well.
It's still silly, but they make it plausible in the film.
Yeah.
This movie doesn't take itself too seriously, so you buy it in this type of film, and it doesn't feel too ridiculous.
I like how knows it's not going to be as great as the original, so it doesn't take itself seriously.
Exactly. It's not like The Lost World where it tries to be better than it really is.
Yeah.
And totally fails at it by hammering a message into our heads and stuff. But it's not as throwaway as Jurassic Park 3, which is just 90 minutes of just quick chase scenes. It's a good balance of what the first film did, except just not as well. Because it has issues. Again, like I said, the characters aren't very interesting, or they're likable enough.
Yeah, but you don't get attached to them.
No. There's two kids in the movie. And I was okay with the younger brother, but the older brother, I get what they're going for. They're trying to make him annoying, and then he grows as a character.
Yeah.
He was too douchey for the first half of the movie.
So cliche.
Exactly. From the first scene you see him in, when he's like hugging his girlfriend, you're like, oh god, I'm gonna hate this guy.
Yeah.
And you do. He gets okay as the movie progresses, but whenever he was on screen in the opening of the movie, I was like, this guy. Just cut away from him. I don't want to see him.
Right.
The things that I always praised the first 3 movies for, even the 2 sequels, is their great blend of CGI and animatronic effects. And this movie is mostly just all CGI.
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell if there was animatronic effects, except for one scene. There's one scene where you can tell there is, but the rest, it felt CGI. And I get it, because the dinosaurs did a lot more in this movie than they did in the previous ones.
Yeah.
But it just felt, I don't know, I felt like something was missing from it. That realism the other ones brought. That even Jurassic Park 3 brought. And that movie sucked. But even that brought, that's kind of missing from this movie. And I wish they had a bit more animatronic effects.
I liked how, like, in the beginning, they kind of, like, let the dinosaur be a mystery and, like, waited to reveal it.
They pulled the jaws and just built up the dinosaur, the hybrid dinosaur, and that was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
It was great to see a movie that took its time at something. It wasn't trying to just get everything at you really fast, like most movies are nowadays. This one, it wasn't slow paced, but it did it well enough where it built up suspense as to the dinosaur reveal. And even just for like a modern PG-13 movie, to see like blood splatter, they don't really do that nowadays in modern PG-13 movies. It's always squeaky clean and everything, and to see some blood splatter was a nice kind of throwback to the old days.
Yeah, that was cool.
This movie actually surprised me, like, a lot of people die in this movie compared to any other Jurassic Park movie.
I loved it though, because that's what I was hoping for. I was like, I hope I go into this and see a lot of death.
Yeah, there's like an insane scene where the pterodactyls are attacking all the people in the park.
That's my favorite part.
That part's just nuts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just crazy moments, like, there's a lot of, like, oh shit moments where you're just like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. And
a lot of great moments like that. I had a smile on my face for the whole movie.
Me too.
Even despite its flaws, it was just so much fun to watch.
The humor was amazing.
Yeah, there's a few moments that didn't work as well, but for the most part, the humor was really good.
Yeah.
And the throwbacks to the first movie are all well done. I like them all. Except, one that was kind of hard to buy was some of the characters discover the original building from the first film in the woods. It's just all run down and everything. And it's kind of like, why is that still there? Why wasn't that demolished and they built Jurassic World?
Right.
I didn't really explain that. And I guess they didn't really have to, but I would have liked just a tiny explanation of how they got Jurassic World off the ground.
Right.
Because the movie just starts off and, Jurassic World, it's been going good. It's like, well, last time we tried opening a park with dinosaurs, you got the first Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
How are they able to get through all those problems and make it work? And I would have liked just a tiny bit explanation of that.
When they found the old Jurassic Park building, I thought they were going to see wild dinosaurs or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, something bad is going to happen here.
Mm-hmm. And if they did, that would have explained why maybe they never touched it or anything. Maybe there's too many wild dinosaurs in that area. And this movie, like I said, has a bunch of fun Easter eggs to the first film.
Yeah.
And I like them all. They never feel too forced. They're never like shoving it down your throat.
Yeah.
But it all works. And speaking of like the first movie, they have one returning character, Dr. Wu from the first movie. Of all the characters they could bring back, they brought back him.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
I liked him in the movie, though.
Yeah.
I liked how he had more of a role. I thought he was going to walk out and say, "Hi, I'm Dr. Wu from the first film," and walk off.
Right.
But he actually had stuff. He actually kind of has, not a whole lot, but he actually had stuff to do. And, spoiler-ish, they kind of turned into a villain-esque character near the end, and I liked that. I was like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It would be interesting if they brought him back in another one as, like, the main bad guy or something. That'd be fun.
That would be cool.
They don't explain what happened to Site B from the two sequels. They don't explain if that's still around, and if that's still where they're getting their dinosaurs from, which would be interesting just to hear. I don't want to go back to that island, but it'd be interesting to hear what happened.
But they could. If they did it well, they could go back there.
Yeah, it's true, but I don't know. I just would have liked just a tiny bit of explanation. It's not really a flaw with the movie, but overall, the movie, like we said, is just a ton of fun. It works through its flaws. It's a great movie to see with an audience.
Yeah, it is.
We saw it with just a huge crowd. And everybody was clapping and cheering at moments.
And
it was so much fun. It's a great event movie.
Having a great time.
It's a perfect summer blockbuster that doesn't reach the heights of the original, but how could you? That's impossible.
The original is amazing, and you can't get that great, but you can try.
And this comes close. This comes close.
It does a very good job.
It captures all the elements from the first film. It captures the magic and like wonder of the first film that the sequels never tried to do. And it captures the suspense. Just the problem is some of the writing could have been fixed up.
Yeah.
Like I said, Vincent D'Onofrio could not have been the most cliched villain in the world. He plays the same character in all of his movies. I swear he does. And when he popped out, I'm like, after like a couple lines, I'm like, oh, he's a military bad guy.
Yeah. His character is so pretentious that like as soon as he starts speaking, you're like, oh, okay, you're the bad guy in this movie, and something bad is gonna happen to you. Okay.
Yeah, but for the most part, it doesn't. It's a worthy sequel. Compared to the other two films.
Especially compared to the other two.
It's a worthy movie that's definitely worth checking out. So, out of 10...
I would give it an 8 out of 10.
I was thinking if this makes any sense. In the long run, the movie's like a 7.5. But for just the experience of seeing it in the theater with a big audience, it bumps it up to an 8 because it's so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
So that's Jurassic World. Movie that was 14 years in the making, I think. And definitely worth the wait.
Definitely.
Because even though I was never excited for this movie, I was always interested in another Jurassic Park movie. And this, it pretty much met my expectations.
It could bring excitement for another one because since they bring back that wonder.
Yes.
You're excited.
So if they get the same people back and just fix up the script a little bit, you can have a really solid follow-up. Even though I don't know where they'd go with it. Just bring back Chris Pratt and Jeff Goldblum. And
Jeff Goldblum.
Make them two the main characters. And that would be awesome. So that's Jurassic World. Again, definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. So, before I go, I like to say, Kaytee is not Sam's replacement. Sam will be back. In fact, we have 4 reviews that we have already shot and edited. It's for a franchise where the first film was directed by Steven Spielberg and is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. So we'll get those out next week. But Kaytee will be back.
More reviews.
We're going to take a look at some of our favorite horror movies because that's our favorite genre, so it'll probably just be all horror movies.
Yeah.
And talk about just the ones that we love, starting with The Cabin in the Woods. But until then, we'll talk to you guys later.